Well, hi guys, welcome back to MK Sportscars, Kit Car Direct. We are back in the workshop and we're going to be speaking about this hashtag Tom. It's a RX5 turbo. If you've been following the build, we kind of update this every few weeks. We don't actually every 5 minutes, but as the build progresses really. So if you didn't know and you haven't watched the other old episodes, I'm going to give a little bit of summary, bit of a recap before we jump into some of the new stuff. So RX5 is the 1.8 NB engine, so Mark II. So that's 98 to 2000, 1.8 litre, and it's got a nice TD04 turbo now with a short log style type manifold. In there you've got things like the injectors are upgraded, you've got the oil feed lines all in, done, turbo drains down, can't really see it, it's down for the sump. Engine and gearbox is all mated and marriage has been made on those, and we've got the oil cooler down in here. So this is going to have an oil cooler, it's hard to see down in here. We've got a decent size oil cooler, I think it's 25 row I do believe, and you probably think, well, why didn't you fit it in front of it? Well, because what we've got in front of that is a intercooler. So we've got the radiator here and the intercooler here, the last bit of the pipework to go in, that way round Sean, for the throttle body to here, that's the last bit with the air filter, horn, things like that, and then this panel here is for the nose cone, which I'll get to in a minute. All the front suspensions, double A-arm, inboard for front suspension, which some of you guys already know about, but for those who've never watched this before, we've got the pushrod style inboard front suspension using the Mazda MX-5 uprights and the Mazda brakes, which is a 256 vented on a wheelwood caliper with our bracketry, our wing stays, our headlight brackets, IVA compliant indicators and headlights, all in that dimensions. Into basically a 2.4 quick crack on this, so it's quick enough for road and for track use. Moving along in here, into the engine bay a bit more. Some of the bodywork, in fact most of the bodywork has actually been dry fitted and installed. Side panel, exhaust holes cut for the turbo and the link pipe is already done. And then we're moving into the bulkhead. So it's all been mounted and dry fitted ready, which is your oil catch tank. And this will feed from 2 locations. We've got it from here and another one from here. Excuse me, I'll screw that back in. Here's one I made earlier. And we fit that to it as well. And then you've got your header tank, which will run a coolant pipe down and around. And then we've got the battery, which is an Odyssey PC680, which is more than ample, into our aluminium bulkhead. Chassis plates all installed. You've got chassis plate in one location here, and then also down on the front chassis rail here as well. So that's all installed there. Again, it's an IVA compliant. Scutter's all installed. Most of the wiring is laid in completely to the chassis and fixed up to the rear. All the padded centre tunnel, we do this on poppers. So if you've got one and you're doing the kit at the moment, we put, same as we do the boot cover, we put little poppers in. It's just that if you ever want to get in here and service it, it's so much easier. And then gear lever and handbrake all will pop on quite nicely. And again, it covers it up, makes it nice and neat and tidy for IVA, and you get a little phone holder to boot as well. Or perhaps if you've got your big wad of cash that you want to put in there. Won't say any other substances, you never know. Steering column's in, but we've just figured out we've just got to supply the ignition, which is here. That's going to be bolted on. I think we're using this ignition barrel, which is supplied. All the billet pedal boxes in. So the MK billet pedal box all mounted under there, right the way through. And then we've got the seats have all been dry fitted. The seats are up here, seat runners, and then all the trim in them done for the sharp edge. Remembering guys, if you're building a car at home, making sure the sharp edge is 2.5mm radius. These bits all need covering with the trim for the harnesses around the sides of the seats, just to make it pliant. You've got your little adjuster there. So they've all been pre-fitted. Side panel on this side has been done. And when we move around, it's the same as the other side. It's been dry fitted. We're just finishing off a little bit of wiring before we do the other thing, which fitting it because it's just easier with here. So if you're working on the alternator, doing the plug and the brake pots, before you put your side panels on, it is a lot easier to do this now than trying to work from the top because it's nice and easy. I've got plenty of access. Whereas if you're just working in a small space here, it's much, much harder. So in your build, in your progress, you can have this car, well, completely running as like a skateboard, exoskeleton skateboard before you put the bodywork on really. So that's all in, throttle cable in, all done. And then moving to the back, we've got the double A arm again. So top of them, these are specific for the Mazdas, and the Mazda upright, Mazda rear caliper, which actually work really well. Handbrake cables and new discs, 251 solid disc. Rear panels in with our IVA compliant fog light and number plate light all wired in as one, and the rear arch on this side is done and the rear arch on that side is done with the lights in, which again will have your side stop indicator, reverse and reflector, which is again required for IVA. So now we move across under here, boot cover just getting the first stage of the poppers going in. Under here on the rear, pretty much buttoned up, handbrakes in, fuel filters, diff, double arms, fuel tank, and the pump from the Mazda MX-5 that we use, which is a modified version. We supply you with a bracket for that to modify it. And then things like this, still got to have the diff oil put in, just leaving a no oil tag on it as well. And making sure that when you're putting in your saddle bushes, making sure that these are below 300 mil. All the wire is tucked up under here, loose at the moment. We've just got to do, look, 2 plugs down here, already done for the lights, so already wired in for the plugs down there. For the rear lights and number plate lights done. We've just got to finish this side off, which this is supplied in your lube, and then you just do the other side once it gets to your rear lights. Fuel caps in, it's a lockable one, IVA compatible as well. So keys are just there ready for it. And the nose cone's sitting here with the Jesus fasteners, which we put in, so it's going to be quick release. And it's having its grills put in. So what we do is lay them in, bond them in, cut them, bend them, and then just leaving a little bit of weight on it overnight so that cures, making it nice and neat and tidy. And here's one I made earlier. We used a nice black mesh, which always looks pretty smart. Actually, we started doing the old number plate stick-on like this on here. What do you think? I think they look quite smart. You're going to go, oh, they're not legal, da, da, da. We do have illegal plates, but when they're on a track and stuff like that, this is fine. You know, it's a show plate, should we call it that? We'll leave that here for the cup car, ready to go on. And then the last job will be the bonnet just to fix, but we've got the nose, all of that bodywork is completely dry fitted. And then we have the final task then of the wiring loom for the engine. That's here, ready to go in next. That's the next job, and the dashboard. So those are 2B, but for the dashboard, when you're running the standard clocks, if you haven't seen this, guys, I know some of you have seen it 100 times probably, but we've moulded this on so that you then fit the clocks behind it for the standard MX-5 clocks, which will be here, which will be bonded on, like so. So they'll fit in nice and secure. Just put that back up there for a minute. And that will finish that off right the way through, and then we're on with panels and just the engine wiring and a few other jobs, some coolant reroutes that we've done for the radiator. We've got to do a return here. The hot and cold feed's done, but we've got to do a return here. This will come all the way back to the top here of the header tank so you can bleed the air out of your radiator. Cold air intake's done. That bracketry's made for it, so when it comes through the nose cone now to make it nice and cool. So yeah, coming along quite nicely actually, and most of it will go together quite quickly because it's all been pre-dry fitted. So some of the bits to do to carry on. Then we're on with wheels and tyre choices and things like that, and then bonded the front wings. Yeah, if you want to know more about the RX5 range or any of the range in the MK Sportscars, whether it be the Sprint 185 or the Cup 200, Hayabusa Bad cars, then hook us up, phone call, email here at MK Sportscars, or come and see us at the factory. Now we do have open days, and we do test days. If you want to get yourself booked in, there's a little thing online. You can book in yourself, look at a time and a date and book yourself in for a test drive, and we'll have a little demo car there ready if you have a little drive in. So whether it be a turbo one you're looking for or a standard normally aspirated one, you can tick a box and you could end up looking at a car that looks just like this. Damn, she looks fine. That's it, guys. Check us out next time. Like, share, subscribe. MK Sportscars. Catch you next time, guys.